What's going on, guys? Mr. Clasher here. Welcome back to another top 10 Pokemon Go list. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about top 10 things you've heard about Pokemon Go and whether they are true. So the very first thing I want to talk about in the list is the EV hack. Actually, this is number 10. The EV hack is real and it's one of the several hidden Easter eggs. So this is 100% true because I've used this before. Many other players know about it and used this before. So you can use the Rainer, the Pyro, and the Sparky name respectively to the Pokemon. So if you do catch 3 EVs and they haven't really been evolved yet, you can use 3 of those names into upgrading or evolving your Pokemon, like a Flareon. I mean, an EV to a Flareon, an EV to a Vaporeon, and an EV into a Jolteon. So those are the names, and at San Diego at Comic-Con, the developer of Niantic, John Hanks, had more Easter eggs along the lines of Eevee naming hack within Pokemon Go. So the naming hacks are still inside the game, guys, and there are more to be found out. No players really have found out, but they are in there, and some players speculate that since there are other Easter eggs that's been confirmed by John Hank, the developer at Niantic, that you can also get, I think it's called Ditto, or I believe that's one of the legendary Pokemon, but it's yet to be found. So let's get to number 9. Coming in at number 9 is you can only catch some Pokemon on certain continents. So if you guys did not know, each continent has a specific Pokemon for that region, and I think that's pretty cool that each continent has a specific Pokemon. So for North America, it's the Bull Taurus. Mr. Mime is specific to Europe. The leaf-totting bird Farfetch is, I believe, Asia only. And the marsupial like Kangaskhan only can be found in Australia and New Zealand. So there's been questions of South America, whether South American's region, what kind of Pokemon will be there, as an exclusive, because I know that North America, Europe got them, Asia got them, New Zealand, Australia, but the South America has not got them yet. So maybe some speculate it's going to be a Ditto, one of the legendary Pokemon, but each continent except South Korea does have a unique Pokemon to catch, and so completing the Pokédex is going to be very, very hard unless you travel to those countries and specifically catch those Pokemon. So let's get to number 8. Alright, coming in at number 8 is a very interesting thing. So Nintendo stock skyrocketed and then fell again when investors realized the company didn't actually make Pokemon Go. So this is very interesting. I've heard floating this around the news so much. So Nintendo actually made a huge skyrocket profit in stocks and everything, but the Niantic lab company that works under them, so it's kind of confusing, but basically Niantic Labs, even though they are kind of, Pokemon does have stocks inside Niantic Lab and they do own a pretty good amount of them, they actually made the least amount of money. Like, they didn't even really make that much money, even though the profits were huge. And, a lot of money were brought into Pokemon Go. The company itself, the Pokemon company, did not make much money at all. So that was a pretty bad deal, and investors dropped, they took out as much as 18% in 24 hours, and they withdrew from the stocks of Pokemon. So that is a pretty bad thing. Pokemon did receive some money, but it's not as much as most people think they got in stocks and everything and the profits. So that was a pretty interesting thing I actually read. So coming in at number 8 was about Niantic earning more money than the actual Pokemon Go company, and the Pokemon Go company did not, receive as much money as people think. So let's get to number 7. Coming in at number 7 is Pokemon Go has caused numerous car accidents. And you guys have heard this on the news, on TV, around the media and everything. But ever since Pokemon Go came out, there has been a pretty big increase in car crashes and people just getting hit while driving. Other cars have been hitting them, and they've been hitting other people, cars, just anything, in car accidents, everything. And because of this, Pokemon Go has, right when you log into the game, it says beware of your surroundings. And also, if you ride too fast, it will give you a warning message saying, are you a passenger? And if you are not a passenger, you're supposed to click. So if you are a passenger, you click I'm a passenger. But if you're not, you better put that phone down and do not play Pokemon Go while you are driving. If you're the passenger on the right side or in the back, in a car, that's fine, but you're probably not going to catch any Pokemon. But there has been a lot of car accidents ever since Pokemon Go came out in July. So that was coming in at number 7. So coming in at number 6 is a Pokemon Go player got stabbed and still kept playing Pokemon. So there's a 21-year-old Oregon man who was stabbed in the shoulder when he approached a stranger he mistakenly thought he was also playing the game. So a Pokemon Go player got stabbed around 1 a.m. This happened in Oregon, and he was 21 years old. So right when he got stabbed, he kept actually playing Pokemon Go. And I'm just thinking to myself, why would you even start, keep playing the game while you got just stabbed? And he was delayed to get stitches in the hospital. So that is crazy, guys. Do not play Pokemon Go and walk around, in cities around 1 a.m. because you never know what's going to happen. So that was coming in at number 6. So coming in at number 5 is the success of Pokemon Go helped Legendary Pictures seal the deal on a live-action Pokemon movie. So if you guys don't know what Legendary Pictures are, they are a movie company that makes different movies and that come out in theaters. They made the Hunger Games film and the recent Warcraft movie. So basically, guys, they did make a movie of Pokemon Go. Now, this is not like a true Pokemon Go movie. This is going to be only in Japan. It was released earlier this year, but this is about a Pikachu who is a detective and he finds other, crimes that has happened inside the city. So I'm not sure much about the movie. I don't know about the movie, but it was released by Legendary Pictures and it was in Japan. So it's not available in the US, at least of my knowledge. So that was a pretty interesting topic coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Pokemon Go has unrestricted access to your Google account. So before they made an update and before a lot of complaints were made into Niantic to change this, Niantic and the Pokemon Go could see your whole Google account, and obviously a lot of players did not like this, and obviously for a lot of reasons, because when a company can see your whole Google account, that is not safe for your account and for you. So what they did is they only made available of seeing your location and your catching data, nothing else. So that is good news, because I know a lot of players did complain about it, and I actually did not know this until just now, but it's been floating around and I've heard this around a little bit here and there, but it's a big change that was actually had to happen, because there's no way a company should know your whole Google account. So that was coming in at number 4. So coming in number 3, there's no way to track where or when Pokemon will show up. So there's been, several apps and several programs that allow you to see where Pokemon would be spawning at in the specific locations. But ever since those came out, such examples would be the PokeRadar and the PokeVision. Now, both of those have been taken down by Niantic, and because Niantic did not like this, they made an update where PokeVision was taken down very, very, very quickly. Same with PokeRadar and other numerous apps that actually tried to help with the third-party software. They did not like this, so Niantic banned all of them, and players now have a harder time finding specific Pokemon, specific location, and other, players and developers are still working on kind of similar programs, so we'll have to stay tuned for the best program to come out in the future. But that was coming in at number 3. Coming in number 2 is the legendary Pokemon aren't in the game. Is that a true fact or is it a false statement? Actually, it is false, because there are players that, seek data and they do the coding, everything, they research the coding, and all of these legendary Pokemon have been found inside the coding. When or how or where the Pokemon will spawn these legendary ones, nobody knows. Like it's a mystery, but they do exist within the codes of the game. So if people say it's not inside the game, well, just tell them, guys, yes it is, it's inside the coding. There are legendary Pokemon. It's just Niantic has not given us a date, or they're probably never going to give us specifically a day when the legendary Pokemon will be spawning, but they do exist within the code. So that was coming in at number 2. So finally coming in at number 1, it's just a very fun and kind of a fact statement. So 1 week after launch, the Pokemon Go was already making millions of dollars. So Pokemon Go has made millions of dollars inside the company, and that's a lot of money for a mobile game. So yep, about $14 million were first brought in inside the company within the first week of its release. That is a lot of money, 14 million in the first week of launch, and they made ever since like 300, probably over 400 million dollars easily ever since the game came out. So that was a kind of a fun fact coming in at number 1.